He sort of gestures. Talk to him over there. He's like points you in somebody else's direction. What are the rest of you up to?
Uh, so BB, he's never been in a big city before.
Okay.
He's only been with his orc clan for like not that long, and then he was lost in the woods for a long time. So he just has no understanding of what a big city is.
Just drinking it in.
Oh yeah, but then he also sees that there's just tons of food from all the vendors and stalls and stuff. So he is Homer in Chocolate Land, running around just grabbing food. He doesn't really have a concept of what things cost and stuff. He's like, oh, cool, people are just giving stuff out.
You hear sort of a commotion as you go through this and start grabbing stuff of like, hey, get back here, things like that, and finally, when you get to the end of your spree, wherever you'd like that to be here.
I'll go right here.
Okay. The last person you grab from kind of like catches your wrist, and he says, "You pay. You money, beast man, pay."
What do you mean?
He sort of
gestures. Pay for what?
He kind of takes your hand and he uses it to point at a transaction that's being conducted, where you can plainly see that somebody's handing over currency and then being handed some food. He's trying to show you what commerce looks like. And also in your wake, you can see sort of people with confused, almost flabbergasted looks, and a town guardsman sort of talking to people as he goes, and they all sort of point in your direction. He's kind of winding his way through your path of carnal destruction.
Oh, Jesus. When I see this, I'm just gonna grab like a handful of gold. We'll say like 3 or 4 pieces of gold. Okay. I'm gonna shove it in the guy's hand who's got a hold of BB.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna try to pull BB away from this and drag him further away.
Like you want to like bring him into the crowd or down the road?
Bring him into the crowd. Okay. I want to get lost.
Because this is like a packed bazaar.
Right.
It's like shoulder to shoulder. Okay.
Yep. So I'm gonna give him, what did I say, like 4 coins, 4 gold.
Okay. Yeah. That's a lot of gold for food, so he's content.
All right. Yep.
When you look back, you see the guy that you had given money to points in the opposite of the direction that you went, and he sort of that way you find. Ool, what are you up to?
You come with me.
What am I up to?
I'm also going to keep your hands to yourself, by the way.
Ool, make
a walk over.
Actually, you're fine. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm just going to try and walk into the district of the residents in good standing.
Okay.
And I assume it's going to go very well.
When you get close, guard says, kind of looks you up and down, and he says, "You from here?"
Yep.
Stamp, please. And
Stamp?
He holds out a piece of paper at you. Stamp it.
All right. Can I make a roll to maybe see? Maybe I know what the fuck he's talking about.
Make a history check.
Yeah.
Get a stamp.
Well, okay. What's the name of the island in your backstory that you're from?
Astora. I think.
Astora. Okay. You kind of remember from your childhood on Astora, hearing stories about Lubeck and their sort of weird thing they do, where non-citizens are sort of confined to this bazaar and the slums and the docks. And in order to actually get into the nicer areas of the city, you have to stamp sort of not visitors logs, but kind of like visitors logs, with a stamp that every citizen is given.
Could I use my forgery kit to do that?
Probably not out in the open, but
Hmm.
you might be able to spend some time if you had a significant chunk of time to forge one.
Okay. I'm just gonna make a noise kind of over off behind me. Just say what, and then kind of walk away.
Okay.
Maybe go forge myself some stamps.
Okay. Fedorov, you feel a shoulder on, or a hand on your shoulder, and it's Bongo, who has noticed you in this crowd. And he says, "Oh, come to join up? You're just in time."
I'm going to not aggressively, just kind of like angrily slap him in the face, as
Okay.
to not do harm, but be like, "You dumb bitch."
Okay. You've garnered the attention of the crowd around you.
It's more of a sign of disrespect than anything else.
Right, but the slap kind of cut through the noise of the crowd around you, and a good dozen, maybe 2 dozen set of eyes are looking at you.
All right.
And
I'm gonna kind of drag him towards these 3 buildings, as though I have purpose.
make
I don't
make
know
a
what I'm
strength
doing.
check to see if you can actually do that. It's not going to be hard to beat him. Nice. All right. Yeah, you conjure up all this rage that no doubt you're feeling over the horse shit you've been through in the last 24 hours. Okay. All right, you drag him over there.
I'm gonna drag him into the first building that looks like it would accept guests.
What do you mean by guests?
People who don't live in this city.
There's nothing in this district like that. The only
Just gonna kind of drag him behind the barn.
That's not a barn.
Well, into a place that might not have eyes.
That's going to be hard to find in this part of the city.
Oh man, I was hoping to slap him up a bit. All right,
He
I'm
says,
just gonna pull up.
What do you want?
I'm gonna be like, you left old Bango to die back there. What the hell was that about? And also, you left me to die.
Bango's still alive.
You're talking to Bango.
Oh,
He's talking to Bongo.
Fair enough.
But Bango's here too. He says, "No, Bango's here. We're just getting ready to go collect the girl. I assumed you were here to help." The master said that Vincent would be joining the organization. I just assumed you joined up too.
and then this time I'm very angry with him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to slap him and slap some sense into him this time around.
Okay. You give him a good slapperoo. One of the because you are behind sort of the head watch post and headquarters of the city guard. So a guard that's taken a smoke break back there says, "Hey, what are you doing?"
I'm gonna just say this guy over here is trying to join a cult.
He says, "What's your point?"
People shouldn't join cults. Do you want to help me slap some sense into this guy?
He says, "That's none of my business. I don't care who you pray to." Says, what I do care
exactly. I'm gonna say exactly. It's none of your business.
to the
I'm
city
gonna
guard,
motion to him to continue with his smoke break.
he kind of make a persuasion check. See if this guy's can be bothered to deal with you.
Is this where we find out that Fedorov spends his...
His month off in jail. You cut out there. I assume that's what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Perception, performance, persuasion. There it is.
10. Okay. He says, no. I think it is my problem. You don't bring violence into this city." And he looks at the guy
Exactly
you're
what I'm
holding.
trying to keep out of
He
the
says,
city.
He says, "Is this man hurting you? Are you all right? Do you need help?" And Bongo says, "No, he's a friend of mine. We just had a little disagreement about something. We're good." And then he turns back to the guard. Kind of just walks a good maybe like 20 feet away from you and does his best to just be like, I don't want to deal with this shit. And goes back to smoke. And Bongo says, "Hey man, what's your issue here? Are you here to are you gonna help us get this girl, or are you gonna
I will help you with nothing, and then I'm just gonna walk away.
As you walk away, he says, "Oh, okay. Is Vincent here?"
As he walks away, I'm gonna conjure the thorn whip, but I'm not gonna whip him. I'm just gonna kind of drag it in the ground,
Okay.
menacingly.
And
I'm gonna dart around as if I'm looking for something important.
Okay. As you do, another guard says, "Hey, put that away." But he doesn't do anything else. All right. Vincent and BB, what are you guys up to?
What are we up to?
Yeah, well, I've drug you into the crowd so we didn't get arrested.
Yeah, you guys seem to have very quickly run afoul of the law of the city.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna give BB a quick maybe a lecture on these things aren't for everybody, right? You know what a museum is, BB?
A what?
Okay, a museum, much like this market, is a place where you can look at things with your eyes, but you cannot touch. Okay? You ask me first if you can touch something.
Oh, okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You hear people around you kind of snicker and laugh.
I go, what? Is it because he's a half-orc? I'm playing the race card for you.
One of them says, "Hey, some of my best friends are half-orcs."
All right, then you understand. All right, so we're going to try to,
You also notice that the crowd around you is a little bit thinner than you would expect. It smells here really bad. I mean, you're in confined
BB?
walls with a lot of different, cultural smells, but
Okay.
BB's immediate stench is drowning them out.
Okay. All right, can I look over my shoulder and see if that guard is still looking for us? Or if
He
he's, talking to people to see where we went?
seems to have given up.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, we're gonna say, come on, BB, let's go back and see if Braun can tell us where to go.
Okay.
Clearly, we're out of our element.
Ron ditched us.
He's in one of these buildings, selling his goods.
BB's kind of, as we're walking back, BB gets distracted by what I think is a big tree.
Yeah, it is an enormous tree.
Enormous tree.
Probably the biggest tree BB's ever seen.
Man, BB wants to know more about the tree.
Okay, make a nature check.
-1.
It's a beautiful tree.
That is a beautiful tree.
BB sees one very long, thick branch that sort of is that creeps down from up in the tangle of the main branches down to about what would be BB's heart level. And on the very tip of this branch looks to be sort of a flowering fruit. You also notice that people are generally keeping off the grass, although you see people standing on boxes and they seem to be ranting. Sort of ringed around the here and here and here and such.
I assume. So I've got one hand on BB's arm and I'm dragging him back. I'm guessing that BB is pointing at the tree and saying, "Look, tree, it's tree." I'm like, "Yes, BB, a tree."
BB, is that accurate? I mean, that sounds like something BB would do.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay.
The tree later. We got to find a place to sleep first.
You're tired of seeing trees?